Welcome into the NBA Tip-Off Show on WagerTalk TV. I'm Megan Payton. A massive day in the NBA started off with some breaking news. Sixers fire head coach Doc Rivers after a Game 7 loss to the Celtics. He moves on after 3 seasons, and the playoffs continue. Today, we've got the Western Conference Finals. Nuggets, Lakers, and no better to break it down than three of the best cappers in the business. Rob Vino, Tony Finn, Skee Profit. Great to see you boys. As always, it's all about Lakers Nuggets tonight. We're going to get some best bets out of you guys, get your breakdowns of the game. Before, let's go around the horn, hear how you guys are going. Skee Profit, what's going on with you this week?
I'm doing all right. NBA's been treating me very nicely. I think I've won 7 in a row, so try to keep that going. And I know in the playoffs I'm a little bit over 100 units, so try to keep that going here on the show. I have been traveling. I was doing stuff for people that I love for Mother's Day, so just getting back home. And maybe I'm just hoping I'm as organized as I need to be for the show. So I try to do my best today with you guys.
Look at our fun new feature. We've got the chat coming in on the lower third, so feel free to hop in the live chat. We'll read some comments at the end, maybe some of your best bets, since this will be a shorter show. Tony Finn, good to see you as always. What's going on with you this week?
Great to be with you and all the gang here. What's going on is I too had a kind of a busy weekend with Mother's Day and some family stuff. So I just arrived back here in the Mojave yesterday, doing listen, off a 2-0 baseball. Have 2-0 in playoffs in the NBA playoffs. Haven't played a bunch of totals. 2-0 in the totals. 2-0 in the money line. Variable as well, but do like tonight's game and have a couple plays. Maybe we'll do 2-0 both in the NBA and in baseball, and you can get me only at WagerTalk. Visit my homepage.
It's also $2 Tuesday up at wagertalk.com. Rob Vino, what's going on with you? How are you doing this morning or this afternoon?
I am good today, Megan. This afternoon here on the East Coast. Basketball, NBA playoffs have been good month of May, especially the 4% best bets. We do have one up and available right now, wagertalk.com. 4 for 4, the last 4% best bet totals, and 64.7% throughout the month of May with these best bet totals. So again, one up and available right now at wagertalk.com for game one here in the playoffs. Tonight's NBA, couple of plays from this game as well. So we're looking to get off to a good start here in what is conference finals time. Let's see if we can get it rolling.
It's going to be a fun one, some fun ways to analyze it, some fun ways to bet on it. I was talking to the producers off camera, trying to figure out how to get a good same game parlay going on. We start the Western Conference in game one out in Denver. Lakers, Nuggets -6, total 225 or 222.5. Tip off at 8:30 Eastern. This is that 2020 bubble rematch, a little bit different though, now that we're a few years past that. Guys, the trends say take the home team here. The regular season split 2-2. Home team won and covered in all four of those games. The Nuggets, best home court advantage, the best home cover team in the NBA during the regular season. Skee, let's start with you. What are you looking at? How should we be eyeing this series and this game one particularly?
Well, it's a lot to look at in this one. What you said about the home teams, I think that's especially true for Denver. Either them or the Grizzlies. I want to say it was Denver, though, were the best home team in the league so far this year. And Denver's one of those teams that didn't even have a winning record on the road. So in a series like this, it's extremely important for them to protect home court. The Lakers, I feel like they've been pretty solid on the road. They've won at least one road game in the playoffs so far. So what I think about the series, I think that it's not going to be easy for either team just because this is now a Denver team with everybody healthy. They have the team chemistry. Everybody's been together for a few years already. And I feel like they're really hungry, especially Joker. The knock on him has been he hasn't won anything. So I think, he's tired of just the MVPs. He's trying to get to an NBA final. So I do like everything that they have going on over there for the Nuggets. And they're starting to play defense as well. For the Lakers, they've looked really good as well since the trade deadline. I want to say they're the best defense in the league post-trade deadline, and I want to say in the playoffs as well. So this series is really tough. Who I think is going to take it at the end, I think the Lakers can still at least road game in this series. Which road game that will be, undetermined. We'll see if they can get the one tonight. But I do think in this first game, um, the Lakers, their path to this spot was a little bit harder than the Nuggets. I know that the Nuggets coming off a 6 game series just like the Lakers are, but I feel like, knocking out the defending champs was a little bit tougher. They also had to play the play in, and now they have to go into altitude to face the Nuggets. So I'm not running to the window to back them tonight. I do want to look towards the first half over, just because I know how the Nuggets want to play basketball. Mike Malone has said 1,000 times that they're a top 5 running team all year. No matter who they play, he wants the team to get out and run, even when they get stops. They want to push the pace and score the ball. So first half over is 114, I believe. It's shaded that way from the full game total. And so I would agree with that if you like the over. If you want to play an under, you would like to include the second half because that's where the games have been slowing down in the playoffs so far. So that's what I'm looking at. As far as props, I would think it's going to be extremely important for Anthony Davis to stay out of foul trouble. The difference between this series and last series, like they had Dwight to kind of help out guarding Jokic and, push him around and use those fouls, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's kind of all on Anthony Davis. And if he gets in foul trouble, Jokic is going to eat and the Lakers are in trouble. So I think Anthony Davis is going to have a presence of mind to not pick up those fouls, and it's going to be important for him to grab the rebounds. So I will look towards his rebound prop, if any prop for this game.
Pushing the pace is what's going to be key for both the Lakers and the Nuggets here. The Nuggets want to push the pace, create a faster game, given the altitude, the elevation, take advantage of that. They have the stars to do so with Jokic, Jamal Murray. Whereas the Lakers, they're going to also want to push the pace here. This is why I'm eyeing the over. The Lakers are going to try to create turnovers. They're going to have to try to create some momentum in this first game one on the road. Rob Vino, do you like the over at 222.5? Or do you have something on the spread here?
Well, I agree with everything that you just said there, Megan, and Skee as well, talking about Mike Malone wanting to push pace. And I think that happens right out of the chute here. You're trying to establish something. The legs are pretty fresh. Been plenty of time off for both of these squads. And I think Denver would like to come out of the chute quickly. As with the Lakers, it's crazy because they both played fundamentally the exact same series, the series before. And now they're going to play a completely different series. For Denver, it was the Phoenix Suns who just couldn't defend against Jokic. They had no front line to defend with. Denver chewed them up. And for Anthony Davis and the Lakers, Golden State had no front line to defend with. Both of those opponents wanted to play rapid fire pace because they couldn't beat either of these teams, Denver or the Lakers, in the half court. Both of these teams, I think, in the half court are very, very confident, but I don't know that they necessarily want to come down 48 minutes and have to set up against one another. Thus, the theme of pushing pace, I think, especially when available to you off of defensive rebounds, get out and go. I think that stands for both teams here. Denver happens to be the highest first quarter scoring team in the NBA this year. So I think that they probably, again, would want to come out of the chute really quick. The matchups are what they are. It's crazy how much of a mirror image these two teams are. I mean, for Denver, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Jokic across the front, but it's no mismatch like it was against Phoenix because now it's LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis. And then in the backcourt, Jamal Murray and KCP and D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves. And then when you go to the bench, I would say, guys, that the Lakers are maybe one deeper than Denver is right now. Mike Malone has really reined it in, and he's only playing 8 guys as opposed to the 9 that are going for the LA Lakers. But it's quality depth on both sides. Skee's point about foul trouble for Davis probably stands for Jokic as well. You don't want to lose Jokic to the bench with 3 fouls in the first half and have him sitting at any point in time. So I would think, Megan, getting away from the game just for a second here and talking about the series and maybe a future, depending upon which one of these teams you think is going to win the series. I don't believe either one's going to win this thing in 5. It's going either 6 or 7, whoever ends up winning. I happen to think Denver probably comes out of here as the winner. If they do, you can play them to win this series 4-2, 6 games, and get plus 550. Or you could play them to win 4-3. I should say, in addition to, you could play them to win 4-3, a 7-game series, and get plus 290 using a round number of $100. If you bet them both and Denver does win the series in 6 or 7, you're going to lock in a profit. So I think if you like the Lakers, you can use the same strategy because you get big pluses with them as well, 6 and 7. It's probably the way I'd look for future price. And again, I'm going to agree with everything that was said about tempo here, especially in game 1. It might bog down once we get to 4 and 5. But for a series opener, remember Denver went over. I think their first quarter total tonight is 29.5. They were over that number 5 times in the previous series in the first quarter.
And that's what's nice about some of these series getting, further into the playoffs is you can bet futures that correlate the way that you're going to bet on a game 1 or a game 2. To me, this series is all about the big men. It's Anthony Davis, it's Jokic, and yes, LeBron James is obviously going to be a talking point, but these two big guys are the ones holding it down. Now, here's what's interesting. When AD is on, the Lakers are great and they're winning the game. It's not always the same for Jokic. Jokic put up 53 points in the previous series against the Suns. They lost that game. So how important is AD and Jokic in game 1 tonight, Tony? And how does that factor into who wins this game?
Well, if I said it once, I said it 100 times in the Golden State and the Lakers matchup that if Golden State continued to let AD, have his way in the paint, that and let LA essentially get out and run whenever they wanted to, and turn Golden State over, they had no chance. And while the series did go further than I thought, I really liked the Lakers. I thought the Golden State was just a team that was just holding on by the hair of the chin. How important? I think it's pretty important. I can say this. I think that AD is much more important as far as containing him to some degree, much more important to Denver than Jokic or LA is in worrying about what Jokic or the Joker is going to do. The Joker's going to do what Joker does, and he can put up a triple-double. He can put up 20 rebounds and 40 points and let somebody else facilitate. He pretty much is playing the role of Wilt Chamberlain. When Wilt Chamberlain decided he was going to lead the league in assists, he did that. He led the league in assists. When he decided he was going to lead in points, he did whatever he wanted to do. Now I don't want to put Jokic in that kind of Hall of Fame and that kind of category because it's possible that might be downplaying what Jokic can do because he can actually shoot free throws too. So it's a series I don't agree completely with my two esteemed colleagues, but and this is a series I believe that Denver, if they choose and they play better on the road than they have in this series and in the regular season, I think they can sweep the Lakers. I think they can get if you like going props on that, the 4-0, I think pays right around 5-1 or 4-1. I'm not certain. Don't quote me on it. I have to look at it again. The exact 4-1 is a pretty good payout too. I just don't see it going any further than that. And I feel the same way about the Eastern Conference finals as well.
Quick couple of stats coming in.
I'll save you time, Tony.
Okay.
I'll save you time. I'll give you 5-1. Go ahead and give me that 5.
You give me 5-1.
Hey. Okay. So we got a smart we have a smart YouTube live chat, and with our fun new features, I figured we could jump into it. Sean Evans bringing up a couple good points. Denver's 7-1 against the spread last 8 games at home. We talk about a high total, potentially an over. Well, the total has gone over in 6 of LA Lakers' last 8 games when playing on the road against Denver. That goes to what I've been looking at here, which is Denver as well as the over 222.5. Guys, there's plenty of ways to bet on this game, not only from spread, sides, futures, player props, lots of parlay action going on, of course, at the sports books. It's time to get into some best bets, and that's our favorite part of the NBA tip-off show. It's super simple. Our panel has 60 seconds. They got to get out with the best bet, and they have to get out in a minute. That's our hard rules today. Rob Vino, you are on the clock. Show us how it's done. 60 seconds starts now.
I'll go back to what I said earlier, Megan. I think that Denver first quarter team total over 29.5 is a good play here. Again, they were over that number 5 times in the previous series. that defense wasn't the Lakers defense. I understand all of that, but these first games of series generally come out a little freer, a little looser than they do once the series bogs down a little bit. So I'd expect both teams to play with a little bit of pace. First quarter action here, maybe even get a first quarter over combined with these two squads. I think that number was 57 and a half. But for me, Denver again at home, over 30 points per game on average this year, the highest scoring first quarter team overall this year. So I think Denver over 29 and a half points scored team total in the first quarter is probably the way I'd go. That'll be my best bet.
With 4 seconds remaining, Rob, that's how it's done. Hey, while we continue the best bets section on our panels, why don't you guys head over to the YouTube Live? Tell us what your best bets are. We'll read some of them out at the end of the show. Tony, 60 seconds. You have a best bet. In and out. Here we go. Let's roll.
Well, I heard you mention that you were looking for an interesting same game parlay. I'm not saying this is an interesting same game parlay, but that will be my best bet for the listeners in this program, in this short 90-second segment that I get, right? Denver. Denver. I'm going to go alternate spread, alternate total. In this alternate spread, Denver minus 9.5, under 227.5 is the alternate total. Every 1% or 1 unit, depending on how you handle your money or manage your money, returns plus 250. The actual line in this game minus 5.5, minus 6, right in there, and the total I believe is 220. So you're a little more on the Nuggets. You're getting a little more on the total 227.5 plus 3 plus 250 on these two pick DraftKings same game parlay. I like it. And I'm looking up something for so we can get a play in on me and Mr. Laker over there as far as the sweep.
Tony, you got to go
I like
quick.
it. I like it.
We got in, we got out. We did it right. Ski Profit, 60 seconds is a short show. We're going to keep it that way. You have 60 seconds. Let's go.
If I can never stop laughing. I really enjoyed the Robert Harris in the background doing the buzzer. And I really enjoyed Megan saying the hard 60 seconds. For my best bet, I'm going to switch it up from what I said initially. I was going to give something from the game for tomorrow. But I've been thinking about it all day. And what I like for today's game, I'll go first half over 114. I just really believe, I've heard plenty of times and I've seen it. Denver wants to get out and run. Whether the ball goes through the net or not, they're going to push the pace. They're, in Mike Malone's words, a top 5 running team. And on the flip side, I just really believe the Lakers can score too because Jokic's going to be on the floor majority of the time. And Jokic is food in the pick and roll. He's a terrible pick and roll defender. So there's plenty of guys on the Lakers who can take advantage of that. I think you get majority of the points in the first half, though. So first half, over 114, best bet for me.
Perfect timing, guys. Great section for the best bets. I'm reading a couple right now in the comments. I got Lakers in 6. I'm seeing Nuggets in 5. Someone's on Jamal Murray under his points. We're all over the place here, and that's the fun part of the playoffs. No one knows what's going to happen. Guys, we appreciate you joining us here on the NBA Tip-Off Show. The Western Conference Finals begins tonight. Tomorrow, we got the Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics Heat. Great stuff here. Take a screenshot of our best bets recap. Go place your bets tonight. It's $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk.com. Ski Profit, Tony Finn, Rob Bino. Appreciate you guys as always. We'll catch you here next time on the NBA Tip-Off Show.